But you gotta get out there and speak up because it's not okay.
It's not okay. It's not okay, is it?
No, it's not okay.
It's not okay.
Abuse can range from physical, sexual, financial, psychological, emotional, and that includes bullying. You know, bullying is ways in which people are verbally, abused. They're taunted, they're teased, and it can also lead into physical abuse. So people with intellectual and developmental disabilities can be harmed in lots of different ways by other people. Well, the exciting thing, and this is really exciting, is that the arc of Greater Twin Cities is really opening up the door of opportunity for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities to have their voices heard. We are in the process of breaking down barriers and building bridges, meaning that reaching out to people in the community to become aware of this problem and to start to think about what we can do collectively to solve this.
Guy and Girl Talk is a training for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities that's interactive, and it allows them the opportunity to talk about how to stand up for themselves and have healthy and safe relationships. In Guy and Girl Talk, we split up into two groups, the gals in one group and the guys in the other group, and it's an opportunity for them to role play what they would do in an unsafe situation and to act out what that would look like and to learn from each other also what that would look like. And we role play a no-go tell, the 3 steps to when you're being harassed or facing abuse, that you say no, go and tell somebody and get support for that.
For a lot of girls with intellectual disabilities that have been abused, it's fearful. And like myself, it's easier for me to talk about it a few years later because then it lifts up something that comes from the heart. Abuse is not okay, and that's all I gotta say. It's just that some girls, they get fear, and some girls, they don't know where to go or where to run to. But like Girl Talk and Guy Talk, it's easy for them to express their feelings with people that have been abused.
In addition, the ARC Greater Twin Cities is also working with public officials and crime support agencies to make sure that persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities who experience abuse are treated with sensitivity and compassion.
The Carver County Sexual Assault Interagency Council is a group of professionals who work with victims of sexual assault. So it's police, prosecutors, probation agents, and what our purpose is to provide a victim-centered response.
Having been with Ramsey County for the last 21 years or so, we tend to take a real proactive team approach in dealing with our clients, our constituency. We have developed, there's a Vulnerable Adult Justice Project, there's a Ramsey County Adult Protection Team that involves professionals at all levels. Without this kind of training, we'd be all swimming by ourselves, but when we work together, it's I think, a very, very effective strategy.
We know how vulnerable and targeted people are with disabilities, and that's why the Sexual Violence Center is proud to be an ally and partner with ARC Greater Twin Cities, so we can provide the best services we can for folks with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
The work that the ARC of Greater Twin Cities is doing is really helping the community imagine a world without abuse in the lives of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, but really in the lives of everyone. So when we talk about this issue, all of us should start thinking about what would it be like to live in a world where there isn't violence, where there isn't abuse, where there isn't bullying, and what can we do to end the cycle of violence and abuse in the lives of people with disabilities, but really in our communities, in our families. This is an exciting endeavor to really imagine a different possibility, a different world for all of us.
I was abused when I was a child, and I didn't know it was wrong, and I really did not know. I just accepted it. And I am proud and happy that ARC Greater Twin Cities is working on making a difference for people with disabilities, that they won't be abused.
Abuse is not okay. It's never okay. It's never acceptable. We all have to really do our part to prevent and stop people from being abused.
When my daughter was in school, she's a young adult now, there wasn't any sexual education, and I frankly didn't even think about it, because who would think that someone who has disabilities would be interested in relationships, or anybody would even think about abusing them? And I was wrong. So this is a topic we really can't ignore. We have to educate people. We have to look at the long term, and we have to be thinking about not just the professionals, not just the caregivers, but we also have to be thinking about how do we empower people who have disabilities.
It's not okay!
Imagine a world without abuse. That would be a good life.
That would be a good life.